Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Casey, and today's reading is all about what do you need to hear to feel more motivated? And I'm also kind of leading with the intention of, what do you need to hear to feel more hope, more strength, more faith in, whatever your path is, whatever journey you're on. But at the core of this, it's, what will make you feel more motivated, more inspired? That's what this reading is going to be all about today. So I hope that I can bring you that feeling. I hope I can bring you that strength, that faith, and that security. But today I have 3 different piles for you to choose from. For pile 1, we have the tent card that says temporary situation, and this is with the black tourmaline. For pile 2, we have the key card that says successful outcomes to your problems with the green aragonite. And for pile 3, we have the door card that says opportunities are waiting for you with the rose quartz. So go ahead and pause, figure out which one of these piles you feel most drawn to. There will be timestamps down the description box below so you can quickly jump to whichever reading that you want to listen to. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. All right. That's actually an interesting sign. I was about to cut that out, but right when I was about to start your reading, there was a little black fly flying around. And so I was like swatting it away before I started, but black flies actually have to deal with negative energy and can sometimes let you know, or at least this is what my friends believe in. I kind of believe it, but it can let you know if there's bad energy or negative people hanging around you, or evil eye, if somebody's trying to send evil eye your way. And I think that's very interesting because I've been sitting here for a while staring at your cards trying to understand them because for some reason there's this huge mental block in my head and just this pit of like anxiety and almost nausea within me. And I feel like that's kind of what you're going through right now. I feel like if I could describe how you're feeling and how you're viewing life as a whole right now, you would say black hole. It's almost like you're doing everything in your power to hold on and to feel like you have strength, to feel like you have control, but the black hole is still sucking you in. It's pulling things away. It's like trying to keep everything on a table and somebody's pulling the tablecloth right out from under you. And this has to do very clearly with your career, it seems like, or at least it's very career focused, because you got the career card. And if you don't know anything about this oracle deck that I'm using, it has 200 cards, and 12 of them have to do with the astral houses, and only one of them says career. So out of all the 200 cards, you got one that's like very clearly, this is about your career. And I was staring at it for the longest time because for some reason I couldn't see what this was about, and I feel like that says a lot about your mental space right now, but not knowing what the correct decision is. I feel like you're on the brink of giving up on something that you should not give up on. I think that you have a passion and a purpose that is in alignment with a certain career path for you, but life is so hectic and crazy, and maybe you have all these different opinions around you and people saying like you're never gonna make it, you can't do it, or why do you do this, you should be doing something better, and it's making you basically go crazy. Like if the feelings I'm channeling are the feelings you feel, God, it feels like you're under so much pressure. I want you to just take a deep breath right now. Just pull it in and just like let it out and allow your shoulders to sag a little. Allow your muscles to relax, because I think you are carrying around a burden day in and day out, whether you realize it or not. That burden is manifesting as tension within your body. It's manifesting in feeling nauseous, feeling anxious, feeling brain fog, maybe sweating more than usual, maybe feeling like out of breath, or like you just need to sit down because maybe you're not physically doing a lot, but your body and your soul and your mind is under so much pain and stress. It feels like you're running a marathon daily. And so I want to start this reading by telling you, please take a breath. Take note of where you're holding anxiety in your body. Do your shoulders feel tight? Or have you been getting pain acting up in like your neck? Do your hands feel weaker than usual, or like they're shaking? Because maybe you're holding them balled up in fists, or maybe they're just constantly holding on tight to things. I feel like you're white knuckling life right now. And I need you to, at the very least, become more aware of this. Become more aware of your body and how it's reacting to things, because you might not be able to control people's assumptions of you, people's opinions, people's judgments. You might not be able to control when things happen, but you can control your body. you can at least control your body's response and how you treat your body. And so I wasn't expecting to say this, but like the amount of stress that I'm channeling right now is so uncomfortable. I really just need to let you know, like I said, this is something you can control. I need you to actively start taking a part in taking better care of your body. Now, it can be baby steps. Maybe it looks like stretching in the morning. I think meditation and yoga would really, 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 really help you. Like, unbelievably would help you. Like, I'm telling you right now, it doesn't need to be like you go to a yoga class. It can be like a guided yoga thing online, Tai Chi. All of these different practices will get you more in tune with your breath, will help you actively take a part in relaxing the muscles in your body, will actively take a part in centering yourself. You are in dire need of that. Like, it feels like triage levels of get this person to a guided meditation right now. If that's not something that you usually do, I highly recommend, like, you can go on YouTube, you can find a 10 or 15 minute guided meditation where all you do is you sit down, close your eyes, and somebody's voice tells you, like, okay, now relax these muscles and breathe, relax these muscles. And by the end of it, I think your body will feel a lot looser, and at the very least, this could help you. Like, I feel like you are in such dire need of de-stressing that this is the level of triage you need for that. Like, just start with your muscles and your breath, because you are wound so tightly. You are on the brink of a breakdown. I see you are on the brink of a breakdown. And if you're not on the brink of it, like, you've already hit it. Like, we've already gone over the cliff. You have had the breakdown. Your life is spiraling. Everything feels out of control. The one thing you have control over is how you treat your body as it goes through this. Because I want you to remember, our mind and our body are not some completely disconnected things, okay? Our brain is quite literally connected to the rest of our body through nerves, and it's literally touching it. And I feel like so often we feel like my mind is a separate issue. It's not really having a big impact on my body, or maybe you just don't notice the impact it's having on your body. I think your body needs some love. It really needs some relaxation. Truly, I would hope that you can give your body what it needs when it asks you. When it feels tired, give it some relaxation. But I could keep harping on this for a long time. I could give you a lot of different tips on how to relax. I'm sure you as a human know how to relax, but there's just a huge point here of it is in your best interest, moving forward and just trying to get anything done, that you take care of your body so at least you have a good foundation to build off of when you're trying to do these stressful things. Now, what I'm seeing going on here is you have the grasshopper card and the career card. Now, the grasshopper card talks about situations in the balance that require careful handling. And I stared at this for so long. I even got like 5 tarot cards out just to understand, like, what is this situation? Why? What kind of careful handling? Like, what's going on here? What I see is in your career path, there is something that you love and care about so much. You love to do it. It is something that you're extremely passionate about, something that you're extremely good at. For some reason, when I looked at the career card, it made me think of a writer, just because it has a writing desk with like the quill and the ink. But it doesn't necessarily need to be writing. I think when I think about writing, and people that are writers, I think of people that are extremely passionate, people that have something within them they want to bring into the world, something that they are dedicated to working extremely hard on, and something that they want to completely immerse themselves in. And so I feel like that is what your career, at least what you want it to look like. You have this thing within you, something that you're extremely passionate about, something that you love, and you're on the brink of giving it up. I feel like you're on the brink of throwing in the towel and saying, enough's enough, or maybe giving into the pressure of people in your life. And Spirit is pleading with you, please do not give up on this. This is something that only you can do. And you might say, like, oh, but there's a million writers in the world and everybody's writing a book. And okay, if there was only a need for one good writer, then there would only be one good writer. But we want other people's perspectives. There's a reason that there's millions of different fantasy books. It's because even if they're very similar, each author brought something different to the table. And so I don't want you to tell yourself like, well, it's already been done, or there's already people in this field, I'm never going to make it. You bring a unique perspective. You have the ability to make it. And people love unique perspectives. They love something new. And I don't want you to get yourself down and think, well, I'm never going to make it because it's so competitive. Yeah, maybe there's a lot of people, but there's also a lot of consumers in the world. Everybody likes something different. If everybody liked the same thing, then the world would look completely different. Everybody has different niche, unique interests, and there will be people that like what you want to put out. There will be people that are going to be super enamored with what you want to do. And so I want you to tell yourself, like, there is a purpose for me to keep doing this. It is not going to just go headfirst into the ground. And I especially think you have this dark woman card that talks about dealings or relationships with a woman with dark complexion or hair, and is clarified by the Seven of Swords reversed. This, I feel like for the majority of you, might be a mom. She doesn't necessarily need to have darker hair or darker complexion, because this is a general reading. But I really get the sense that this is an older woman, or maybe a quote-unquote friend in your life, who maybe talks down about what you do. I think this could also symbolize the larger audience of people that might judge you. The Seven of Swords reversed is all about somebody that is taking from your life. Somebody that is running off with something precious to you. And what this person is running off with is your faith, your motivation, your strength, your happiness, your self-assuredness, your self-esteem. If there is somebody in your life that is routinely judging what you want to do with your life, kick them out. I don't care if it's your mother. She can see you on Thanksgiving or on Christmas, but she does not get to have a say in what you do with your life. Now, if you live under her roof, or if you rely on this person, they might have certain rules that you need to follow just because that is their house. But if you are an independent person and you're taking care of yourself, the only person whose opinion matters about what you choose to do with your life is your own. And I know, we honor our parents, we care for them, we respect them, but at some point we need to respect ourselves. You need to respect yourself and know that you only have this one life. Point blank. And you need to live for yourself, because if you live for anyone else, you will regret it the rest of your life. You will always wonder, what if I had just tried a little bit longer? What if I had kept writing? Or what if I had kept, making music? Or what if I had kept doing photography? What if that was the last thing that I submitted and that was the final thing that took off and got published? Or what if that was the one thing that blew up? You will always wonder, and you will live a life of pain if you give up on what you love. I see that you have this unending feeling of love and joy for this thing that you do, and I think you're extremely good at it. And I think you've been in this period of waiting and insecurity, and maybe things haven't been taking off, and you constantly wonder, like, what if? Maybe just a little bit longer, but then there's also part of you that's like, what if it never happens? And you're just wasting your time. And Spirit is asking you, please don't listen to the fear. Everything will happen in divine timing, but no matter what. This is reminding me of something. Recently, I've been re-listening to Brandon Sanderson's lectures. Brandon Sanderson is an author of the famous series Mistborn and Way of Kings. Amazing, amazing books. I have read almost all 4 of the Way of Kings books in the past month or two, back to back. And if you don't know, these books are this thick. They're like 300 or 400,000 words. Anyways, huge books, amazing author. But the thing about him that I am so enamored with is in these lectures, you hear his passion for his craft. You hear all the ins and outs of what life looks like when you care about something and you devote your life to it, and it does work out because you were so devoted to it. And no matter what you choose to do with your life, if you're a writer, I highly, highly recommend click off this video right now. Honestly, go look up Brandon Sanderson writing lectures at BYU. He did 9 videos. You will get so much out of it. But even if you're not a writer, because I'm not a writer, those lectures, it shows you what happens when you have something that you care about and you pursue it and it actually works out. And also, he talks a lot, he has a lot of good advice about how he was able to write for 10 years without being published while also still, living life. He talked about like what kinds of jobs that you can get to be able to free up your mental space to write, or free up time to write, or how to move life around so that you can maintain writing every day, so you can maintain discipline. I think you could get a lot out of that. But what I'm seeing for you here is Spirit really doesn't want you to give up on this. Even if it doesn't turn it into a career, at the very least, don't give up on it. And I want you to ask yourself, even if it didn't become a viable career path, would this still be something that you would want to do? Or let's say that you became a billionaire tomorrow. Is this still something that you would want to do? And if the answer is yes, if you care about this to the point that money doesn't matter or career doesn't matter, you would still want to do this, you would still want to bring this to fruition, then don't give up on it. Like, truly become clear with the fact that, okay, maybe it's not gonna make you $1 million on the timeline that you want. Okay. That said, or knowing that information, which I'm not saying that's not gonna happen, but just keep in mind, if you knew that for a fact, would you still do this? Would you still keep writing? Or would you still keep making art? Would you still keep doing, making Legos or whatever in your spare time? If the answer is yes, then allow yourself to enjoy it and don't give up on it. I feel like it might have become so intertwined with your career in your mind that it's like one ultimatum or the other. It either works out or I completely give up on everything. And you should never give up on something that brings you joy. You should never give up on what you're passionate about, because truly in life, one of the only things that we truly have that no one can take from us is what we're passionate about. Life can make you stop doing what you're passionate about. Life can get in the way, but it can never take away the passion itself. And I feel like you're on the brink of throwing away this thing that is irreplaceable. This is something you love, and you deserve to pursue it. And you have all these cards here about feeling like you're on the brink of giving up. But then I see cards here of all the reasons why you shouldn't. Why it would be like giving up on life itself. And I know that sounds drastic, but like I said, at the end of the day, all we have is what we're passionate about. And what I see here with the Dark Woman card, like I said, this could especially be a mother. What I'm seeing is it's time to distance yourself from this person. Whatever you need to do, if you have to hear them talk and blab their mouth one more time about why this can't work out, or why you should be a doctor instead, or blah, 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 blah. If I could, I would grab her by the lips and throw her out the room. Like, I'm sorry, I know you care and love about this person, but enough is enough. It's bullying you into the ground. It's making you feel physically sick. It's making you feel dejected. It's taking the motivation and inspiration right out from under you. Every time that you are judged, or every time somebody puts you down about your ideas, or every time somebody tells you you're never going to make it, or you're not good enough, or XYZ reason why you shouldn't do this, or you should do this other thing instead, or, oh, look at these people who are so successful at XYZ thing. Why can't you be more like them? Oh my God, please, like, nobody should have to listen to this day in and day out. I mean, no wonder you feel so dejected. No wonder you feel like there's a black hole in your life. This person, these vibes, this judgment, that is the black hole. And you gotta get away from it. Now, like I said, it doesn't mean that we cut people off. It doesn't mean that we yell at them, or it doesn't mean you have to throw them out of your life forever. But it does mean that you put yourself first. And it does mean that you move away, whether it's physically or, contact-wise on social media or on the phone, for as long as you need. And they might get butthurt, but it's not their life. They are not the center of your life. You are. And finally, with the Cup card and the Seven of Wands, this says you should accept valid criticism. And the Seven of Wands has this imagery of this person fighting off all these wands. When I look at this, I see that you've become so afraid of judgment and the pain that comes with that I think you've been batting away all criticism, or any time that you see criticism online, like maybe if you put your art online and somebody criticizes it, it's like you want to fight all of it off. Now, it's valid. We don't need to accept all criticism, and everybody is entitled to their opinion, but it just matters that your opinion is the one that you care about most. But what I do see is there is some valid criticism that you could take. And I think this could also be a sign that maybe getting into a group of people that also want to do this thing, like if you're a writer, getting into a writing group, that's another thing that Brandon Sanderson talked about that I thought was really interesting, is he talked about a successful writing group, how to be a successful writing partner, somebody that will read another writer's work, is not saying something like, you should add in XYZ. That doesn't help. What would help is saying, I felt confused when I was reading this part, or I felt bored when I was reading this part. And then can you expand on those feelings? Now that is a good way to give criticism. It's like, this was my initial reaction to this thing that you put out, so do it that way you will. But for you, what you don't need to hear is, oh, you should change the way this looks, and oh, if I were you, I would do this. Like, that's not going to help. So it's important that you kind of sort out what's the invalid criticism and what's actually criticism that you could take and be like, okay, this is going to make me a better author, or XYZ, whatever you want to be. I think especially getting into groups of people that want to do that same thing, like maybe if it's photography, or I don't know, I get the sense that a lot of you are artists. Getting around other people that are trying to do what you're doing and being good reviewers, I guess you could say, for each other would be really helpful to you and help you get the good criticism. And if somebody throws you some bad criticism here and there, you can just say straight up, I don't really take that kind of criticism. I'm more looking for this kind of criticism. And if they don't want to change, okay, goodbye. Like, it doesn't need to be this big thing. It's just like, okay, you don't have what I'm looking for. Let me move on. Let me just not share my work with you anymore. But pile one, I think that's about everything that I have for you. I think more than anything, Spirit just wants you to not give up on this. I think what you have is a beautiful thing that wants to be brought into this world, and you are the one to do it. I know things might look bleak right now. It might look hard to get to the point that you want to get to, and it's extremely tough dealing with judgment and people lording over you, like what you should do and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it matters what you want to do with your life. And I think independence is going to help you so much in pursuing what you want. It might be rough, it might not happen right away, but you need to remember that you do this because you love it. And it would be wonderful if it could be a career, and I think it absolutely could, but that will come when it comes. What matters right now is that you're doing what you love because you love it. So that is where I'll leave you. That is everything that I have. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Alright, pile 2. If you chose the green aragonite, then this is the reading for you. And this reading, like I said in the beginning, is all about what do you need to hear right now, or what do you need to do to feel more motivated towards the path that you want to go down? What will make you feel stronger? What will make you feel more faith in what you're doing? And I have a lot of good cards for you here today. So starting off, you have fair woman, dealings or relationship with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. So this, it could be a mother. It also says gray hair, so it could be a mother, somebody who's older. It could be a grandmother. It could be an aunt. I really get like a warm kind of energy from this card. So I feel like something that would really help you feel more motivated is opening up about what you're going through right now, especially with a trusted, older women. Older women just tend to have that kind of like nice, comforting vibe. Like, especially if it's your mom. Maybe you haven't been super in touch with her in a while. Could even be an older sister, and maybe you just need to sit down. You need to be like, hey, this is what I'm going through in life. I'm feeling like I'm lacking a little bit of strength, and I feel like I could use a little bit of motivation. And sometimes all we need is to hear another perspective, or maybe even an anecdote from when they were younger, or like, oh, well, I once tried to do this thing, and then this thing happened, and blah, 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 and then here's the moral to the story, and then you walk away from that feeling like, oh, I feel more invigorated after that. Like, I feel like when you talk to this person, it just feels healing. You always walk away feeling a little bit brighter, a little bit happier. And with the strength card, I really get the sense that you kind of just need somebody to lean on a little bit. You need somebody to talk to. You need somebody to share what's going on in your life. And it might not even be about exactly what your path is. Maybe you just need to rant. You need to feel heard. Maybe you talk about a recent relationship, or like something that went on with a friendship, and you just walk away feeling a little bit lighter, and it's like, this is what life is all about. And I feel like after that, once you gain that feeling, it's hard not to be motivated. You know, if you're feeling good, if you're feeling bright, if you're feeling high vibe, especially if you're surrounded by loving people. And there's even more emphasis of that here with the Nest card and the Ace of Cups. The Nest card talks about an emotionally secure, loving family being important to you. And then the Ace of Cups is all about overwhelming love, joy. I feel like something that would make you feel a lot stronger, a lot more faithful in what you're trying to do, a lot more motivated and inspired, is just being around people you love. I mean, not only do you have this fair woman card that I think could be a mother, or it could be an older sister, or a grandmother, or a friend, but you also have the Nest card talking about family. I feel like if you've been in a little bit of a slump, or if you've been a little bit stressed, talking to family or going to see them if you happen to live close enough that you can see with them, just being around them, having a good time is going to fill you up so much. And just, like I said, it's hard not to feel motivated when you have this love surrounding you, when you have love and good vibes and laughter and happiness, and you feel refreshed and you feel the sun on your skin, you hear the laughter of those that you love. Of course you're going to feel inspired after that. Sometimes all we need is a good reset. Sometimes all we need is to just be around people that we love. And then one more thing that I see here is you have the Cat card that talks about a two-faced friend. And then you have the Sun and the Hermit card. And the Hermit talks about being on our own, finding independence. And also the Sun card almost makes me think of walking away from something that was no longer serving you and walking in the direction of something brighter. With the two-faced friend card, there could be somebody in your life that's holding you down. It could be somebody that's, actively trying to hurt you or go behind your back, somebody that's trying to sabotage you, or it could be somebody that maybe they seem like a friend, but they make a lot of jokes about, I don't know, your looks or about what you're doing with your life, or they make deprecating jokes towards you, and that's not really a good friend. That's not really somebody that we want in our life. And so I feel like Spirit's asking you, take a really good look around those around you and how you feel when you're with them. Do you feel uplifted and happy around certain people? Or do you feel like you always walk away feeling a little bit down or feeling a little bit more insecure? Or you feel like you can't fully trust this person, like maybe they're going behind your back doing certain things. I feel like now, at this current point in time in your life, relationships are very important to how the rest of your life goes. How well you do career-wise, how well you do socially, or how well you're feeling is going to be really dependent on the kinds of people in your life. And Spirit is wanting you to take a good look at who is in your life right now. Take good stock, and if there's people in your life that make you feel bad, or you always walk away feeling a little bit more down, it's time to cut them out. And it doesn't need to look like blowing up at them and saying, I hate you, I'm never going to talk to you again. Sometimes it just looks like being less available to them. Or, oh, sorry, I'm busy, so I can't see you. Doesn't need to be a truth. I mean, maybe you could be upfront. Maybe you can find ways to heal the relationship or say, hey, I know you have good intentions, but when you say this thing, it really hurts me and it makes me not want to be around you. So whatever you need to do in your life to heal certain relationships, and I think there's a huge emphasis here on spending more time around family, spending more time with your mom or whoever this older woman is. I feel like there's a lot of strength and happiness and motivation to come out of that, rather than if you've been trying to look in books for motivation or you've been trying to look within. I mean, certainly you can find it, but it's going to come a lot easier if you're just around love. And I feel like your family and your best friends, they radiate love. That is the best source of inspiration and motivation in the world, is feeling love, feeling happy, feeling excited about life. And there's nothing like it. And so if you have access to it, if you have access to these people, if you can see them, if you can talk to them, if you can be around them, I highly encourage you to do so. You will walk away feeling brighter, more uplifted, and you might get some ideas out of it of what you want to do next in life. I don't know. Or, if you've been having trouble staying motivated on your career path because maybe it's really difficult, or the schooling you're doing. Sometimes all we need as a de-stressor is to just spend time with those that we love. Then we walk away feeling like, okay, now I'm ready to take on this thing. Now my cup is refilled, so let's get back to work. So pile 2. That is everything that I have. I know that was short and sweet, but I feel like I got all the points across. I feel like your answer is very simple. Relationships have a huge impact on you, especially right now. So spend time with the good ones and maybe take some distance away from ones that are not as good. So that is everything that I have. I truly wish you the best on your path, but thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. All right, pile 3, last but certainly not least. If you chose the rose quartz, then this is the reading for you. And your reading is showing me that at the moment, I'm not sure what path you're on. This could be a career path or it could be a personal path that you're on. But there's this major challenge or roadblock that has gotten in your way. Maybe it was time, maybe it's people getting in your way. Maybe somebody got a spot that you really wanted on a job team and you just feel really dejected and you're like, I feel like you're running out of motivation. You're running out of steam because you have the Knight of Pentacles reversed, and this is all about discipline and diligent hard work and being able to keep going, like over time, just disciplined work day in, day out. And with it reversed, I get the sense that you almost feel like it's time to just stop. You feel like this is it. This is too big of a challenge to overcome. I feel like you've gone over roadblocks before. You've tried over and over and over again. And now you're facing this mountain and you're just thinking, God, what is it worth it to keep going? Is it worth it to keep trying? And I want to tell you, yes, the answer is yes, it is worth it to keep going. I think this roadblock or this challenge or whatever has hit you, it definitely feels like it's a lot to handle. And I'm sure that this is no small challenge. This is no small feat to overcome. I'm sure that there's only so much faith that a person can have. But what I'm seeing in this reading is it's almost like success is right around the corner. And I don't know if you've ever seen this, like, I don't know if it would be called a meme. It's kind of like a drawing where on top you have this guy and he's got this pickaxe and he's mining and he's right about to hit diamonds, but then he turns around. But then right below him, there's a guy that's still mining, still has full power, and he's gonna hit the diamonds because he kept going. And so it's like the guy on top, if he had just kept going a little bit longer, he would have hit that success. But because he stopped before he ever reached it, he'll never know. And I feel like you are on the cusp of giving up on something that is just right around the corner. I feel like you're so much closer than you realize, but you're getting so tired. You're like, I'll give you an example. So there's this book. It's my favorite book. It's called The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And it's about this boy's journey. He's trying to find this treasure, and he goes all the way across the world. He goes through trials and tribulations, years of waiting, and then right when he's closest to it, he's arrived at the place, he is getting beat to a pulp. But instead of giving up, he holds on a little bit longer, and he ends up finding the answer that he was looking for. He finds where the treasure is. And so I feel drawn to give you these examples because this is not something that you're meant to give up on. You've come so far. You've worked so hard. And it's like you've climbed Mount Everest only to realize, like you thought you got to the top only to realize, oh shoot, there's still 200 more feet to go. And you're like, well, I'm already falling apart. I don't know if I can go 200 more feet. But if you can just keep pushing, if you can find strength, if you can find motivation to keep going, you will be rewarded. I truly, truly believe that success is coming for you. It is so close, but it needs you to keep going because you will never reach it if you don't keep going. If you choose to quit right now, you are choosing to never reach it. But if you choose to keep going, I don't know exactly how long it's going to take, but you are choosing to have the possibility of success. You have two choices. Fail, for sure, or have the possibility of success, which I think is a very likely possibility. Now, up next, you have some pretty good cards here. You have the ear card that talks about good news and the Hanged Man. With the Hanged Man, I feel like you've just kind of been stuck in this waiting. Like for example, if you really wanted to get a certain position at your job and somebody else got it, and you're like, great, now I'm still stuck in the same position and I'm unhappy and you feel very stuck. Good news. The good news card makes me think like maybe you get hit up from an old coworker that's like, hey, I've got this job position that just opened over here and it's actually so much better, way better paying, a way better environment than the one that you wanted before. And so what I want to say is this good news, it might seem like there's a huge mountain in front of you. Like maybe you've been hiking for years and then all of a sudden there's this huge mountain and you're like, I don't know if I can keep going. But then you get a call, hey, I found this path that goes through the mountain. There's actually a tunnel that's hidden over here. Your ego only knows what's in front of you right now. And it makes you want to shut down and feel like there is no way forward because, oh God, look at this huge mountain. Your highest self knows that there's a tunnel around the corner. Or your highest self knows like, oh, there's actually this other path off to the side. What your ego knows is what's right in front of you, and all your ego can see is the mountain. And what I want you to do is take a step back and have faith that, okay, if there's a block placed in front of me, it's happening for a reason. It's happening for my highest good. There is a tunnel around the corner. There is a different path. I am still being led to what I am trying to fulfill. I am still on the right path. It's just all about perspective. And your highest self, it has all the perspective. It knows when you're going to get to this thing that you want. It knows where the right path is. But your job is to just have faith and keep going. And take a step back when things don't work out right away. Say, okay, that just wasn't meant for me. But it's for the best because there's something better around the corner. I might not know what's around the corner, but I know that if I didn't get this thing right here, it's for a good reason. So you might need to wait for a bit. But with the good news card, I truly believe like you will be getting some really good news, whether it's an opportunity or, like I said, in analogy terms, there's a tunnel right around the corner. And all of a sudden it's like, who even cares about the mountain anymore? I'm still back on the path. And finally here you have the hand card clarified by the Fool. The hand card talks about being in need of help, assistance, and guidance. I think that you will have so much more energy and motivation, inspiration to go after what you want if you can get a little bit of help. Now, I think in the spiritual sense, being very in tune with your spirit guides or your angels, whatever you believe in, feeling really in tune with that, feeling guided by them is going to help a ton. But I think also getting help in the real world, getting help from friends, getting help from colleagues, reaching out and saying, hey, things are looking kind of bleak at my job. Do you have any openings at your job? Or do you know anybody that's hiring right now? I feel like if you can reach out and have other people helping you, having other people to uplift you, having other people to open doors for you is going to make it feel so much easier. And I feel like for a long time you've been trying to do it on your own, but getting a little bit of help, even if it's just advice, or even just somebody to say like, yeah, keep going, I believe in you, it's going to make you feel so much more motivated. And I think there are people in your life that would want to push you on. People that are like, oh, yeah, I've been wondering how you've been doing. Yeah, is there any way that I can help? There are people like that in your life, but they're never going to know what you're going through unless you decide to reach out. I think that at this current point in time, you are in need of help. You're in need of some guidance. And it's not a shame to ask for some help. In fact, getting that little bit of a boost, getting that little bit of a redirection from a close friend or, maybe a colleague that you used to work with might be the one thing that you need to get going in the right direction again. And so pile 3, I feel like you are still meant to be doing what you're doing. You're still on the right path. Roadblocks will come and go, and when they come, I just want you to remind yourself this happened for a reason. It might seem bleak, it might seem like, I thought that was my only option, but I had no idea that Spirit actually had way better options available to me. And maybe I couldn't see them right away, but if it didn't work out, it happened for a reason. What will come will be what is meant for me. And also, look forward to some good news coming. Look forward to some new opportunities. And also, don't be afraid to reach out to other people, because for all you know, reaching out to others might be what sets off that good news coming, what sets off that opportunity coming in. So I want to encourage you, keep going. Success is right around the corner. Please don't give up on your dreams. Remember, there are 2 choices here. Give up and for sure have failure, or keep going and definitely have the possibility of success. So pile 3, that is everything that I have for you. I truly wish you the best on your path. I know that you can succeed, but that is everything that I have. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.